So this Jeep behind me is our $1,000 Jeep build, which we are first doing all the maintenance things before we actually put any sort of lift or wheels on this Jeep. We did pick this Jeep up for $900 and we needed to put in a $100 ECM to bypass the skim system. That way the Jeep could work. We still have a lot of other things to do. We're gonna clean up the plastics. We're gonna polish the headlights. We're gonna do a new radio. We gotta replace some gaskets. But on today's video, we are gonna change out the tensioner, the pulley, and the belt. Now this kit I got on eBay for like 50 bucks. It was really cheap. These are the part numbers here, and I'll have a link to this down below. Now the brand here is Mocha Auto Parts. I've never seen that in any local auto stores, so I'm not sure how this will do, but I bet it'll be better than what's in the Jeep currently. If we take a look, we can see the pulley here. It looks like it has a melted belt or something on there. So we definitely got to replace that. The tensioner has some rust. Might as well replace it and have everything fresh in the Jeep. You don't want to be out there off-roading and have the belt snap on you or have one of the bearings in the pulley go out. So let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to start by removing the belt. And as I was looking at the belt right now, I actually noticed, check this out. This line is actually loose. You can see it moving and there's oil leaking. So if you pick up a used car, definitely try to rinse off the engine bay, especially if there's any oil leaks. That way you can see where the oil is coming from, like that. So we're gonna take a breaker bar, and if you look at the belt tensioner, it has a square right there. And if you take a 1/2 inch breaker bar, it fits perfect right there. So that's what we're gonna use to take the tension off the belt so we can remove it. So we're gonna stick it down. So now we're on that hole. We could take the tension off the belt and get it off. So now we can remove that, and we can also remove the tensioner and the pulley here. So now we're going to take a 14 mil and remove the idler pulley. So here is the new one versus the old one here. So we do have to reuse the bolt. The socket got stuck, so I'm just leaving it on. And we do have to reuse that spacer back here. So I'm going to give this bolt and washer kind of a coat of paint just so it doesn't look all rusty before I put it back on. You can kind of hear the bearing. It is bad on this, so good thing we're changing it out. Now we are taking a T40 to remove the tensioner here. And be sure that this is sitting inside of the bolt. You don't want to strip this out because that will be a pain to remove it from there. Kind of sucks to have the clutch fan in the way right now, but it is what it is. All right, so that one is really tight on there, and I'm afraid that it's gonna strip. So we are going to take off the alternator so we can take off the bracket, because that one is stuck, and this is what might happen to you as well. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how we end up removing that bolt, because that thing is rusted on. So we had to take off 4 bolts on this, and it just comes off, and now we can work on it. We're going to send it and see if it'll come out. It's in the vise. We put some heat on it. Oh, it's twisting now?
Yeah, we're going to have to hold this piece.
This piece now. Okay. Never mind. All right, let's see how it does. Oh, man. We thought it was gonna strip.
I think it would have if we didn't take it off like that.
Yeah.
There's no way to get a good angle on it.
We also did hit it with some heat, so that might have helped too, but having it off definitely made it way easier. It's hot. Let me get the new one, we'll throw it on. Okay, we got the new part on, so let's go ahead and put it back into the Jeep. All right, so we got the detour over with. We got everything back together. Alternator's back on, brackets back on. Everything's tight. So now we got to put on the idler pulley. And I do have to show you something. So the pulleys are a bit different. As you can tell from the front, this has a bigger lip than that one. The bolt still fits because that spacer, it is the same bearing, so that spacer fits in there nicely, holds the bolt in straight. The only difference we had to do is we had to add this washer. It's a smaller one than the stock one. That's the one that came on stock. This is the one that we're putting in. That one fits there perfectly, but it's just way too big for that one. So we're gonna throw this one in there and call it a day. The spacer does go on the back, so make sure of that. All right, so we got the belt back on. We got the new pulley and the new idler. It should be a lot more quiet now since the bearings are good. Everything is in place. I'm gonna try tightening this before I start it. So, oh, and also we have to put the battery cables back on. These look like they need an upgrade. All right, so let's go ahead and start it up, see how it sounds. Oh, we don't got a battery. I forgot to connect it. All right, now we have a battery. Let's see. That's definitely a lot more quiet. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that it helped you out on how to replace the serpentine belt, the idler pulley, and also the tensioner. I don't think I've ever done this on any of my cars. This is the first time. So if it's your first time, don't be afraid to do it. It's not that hard. I did have that bolt that was stuck, but we ended up using the vise. Took it out and did it on the vise. It was a lot easier that way. We had more room since the fan and the radiator shroud were in the way. But this is honestly a project that you can do pretty easily. It'll take maybe an hour, maybe less. But if you haven't done it on your Jeep and it looks old, definitely replace it, because they are bearings. They can go bad. They can leave you stranded. The belt itself, it can be cracked. Mine was cracked. So definitely check that out. Change them out if you need it. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys on the next video.